current president of the Foundation for Free Information Infrastructure. It's a German-based association created in Munich exactly 10 years ago. And this association was founded by Hartmut Pilsch, who is a Chinese multilingual simultaneous translator. And this association was basically founded in the times where inside the European Patent Organization there were talks to delete exceptions regarding software to be patentable. So to explain you a bit why I'm here, basically I signed a petition. I think it was the first year where I was at university, and the internet was quite starting, I think about 1997, 1998. And then I signed a petition where I remember it was a yellow page with a lot of flags on top. And it was a petition to Commissioner Karel van Miert. Karel van Miert was a politician from Belgium who was commissioner for the internal market at that time. And basically I signed this petition, and at the time they collected 10,000 signatures, and basically I become involved in the fight against software patents. I was at the time founder of a Linux user group at the university, where a friend of mine told me, if this law is changed, I leave Europe. And I said, yeah, we have to take care of that. And we launched a French-speaking petition in Belgium and France, where we got 3,000 signatures. And from this moment, we organized a big conference at the university on the topic. And then after we decided, together with the speakers who were involved, to start an alliance called the EuroLinux Alliance. And we started the petition called the EuroLinux petition for against software patents. So we were one of the main lobby groups in the discussions on the software patent directive. I can explain you a bit where this comes from. So basically the law in Europe is basically an international treaty. And this international treaty is the foundation for what is called the European patent. And the European patent is a bundle of some kind of national patents that are delivered by a central authority called the European Patent Office. So the European Patent Office is not an European institution. It's an international body similar to the United Nations, which deliver patents for member states. Right now there are 35 or 36 countries from Europe, including Turkey and Iceland and Norway, who signed this agreement. And when you want to apply a patent for Europe, you can designate Turkey or Iceland or France or a combination of the countries who are signatory of the agreement to have a patent in those countries. So this is the piece of law which regulates what is and what is not patentable. So the Article 52.2 of this international convention, you find that a list of exclusions in which you find methods for playing games, methods for doing business, program for computers, and other exceptions. And there is another article called Article 52.3, where it says in very loose terms that the list of exclusions should be interpreted in a way as such. So the story is that the European Patent Office is interpreting this piece of law as being if it's a computer program as such, you are able to get what is called a software patent, which means a device on which all the features are implemented in software. So they see the exclusion of computer program as such as being the program itself that you put on a piece of paper, print it on the wall, and do nothing with it, do not sell it. Yeah, that's the fundamental. So they came to this interpretation by several decisions of the technical boards of appeal, which are the internal administrative courts inside the EPO, where they decided in 1986 with the VICOM decision that a computer program can be claimed if it's claimed in the form of a device. So basically, all the typical software patent is that you have all the features which are in software, and at the end, or the first claim, which is mostly the most important claim, the first claim is a general purpose computer where all the features are implemented in software. So basically, there were two attempts to change the law. One in 2000, where they tried to remove the word program for computers from the convention in order to have software patents legalized by change of the convention. The problem is to change the convention is that you need 75% or 66% of the member states to agree to change the convention. And since most prominent member states like France and other countries said they didn't agree to change the wording of the convention, they didn't manage to change it. So at the time, it was in 1999 and 2000, two people, mainly Helmut Pilch and Mr. Jean-Paul Smets, were actively lobbying the delegations of each member state in order to trigger some debate. But the problem is, in those international discussions and diplomatic conferences, they are mostly not open to the public and very hard to lobby. This is similar to other discussions on other international treaties, like maybe you heard about ACTA. This is similar kind of environment where the change of the law is happening behind closed doors. So at the time there was not so much debate about the case around software patents, and basically since the patent lobby didn't manage to change the law in 2000, they went to knock on the door of the European Commission and ask, since the German and British courts don't interpret the convention the same way, they found a basis to say we have to create harmonization through a directive which will apply to all the member states. So the Commission launched a consultation in 2000 where, let's say, a lot of people who submitted an observation were against, and only 5% of large companies said they were for the project, for the directive, and to change the law in the direction of taking the interpretation of the treaty that the EPO had made through their technical board of appeal and put it in an EU directive. So the story is that Mr. Smets, who was very active at the time, he had contact with the French government, and basically when the Commission wants to propose a directive, they let's say they publish it at a certain date, and let's say 2 weeks before they distribute it within the members of the Council of Ministers, and they have their opinion on the draft, on the proposal. And what happened is that the French delegation gave us a copy of the document, which was the Word file, and it appeared that this document was last edited by a lobbyist from the Business Software Alliance, who mostly represent Microsoft and other large American companies. And yeah, this document was also edited on the Mac, because it was edited with the Microsoft Word version 8.0, which only exists on the Mac. So yeah, the Brussels environment is very much remote from the national debate, because there's not so much information on what's going on, how the legislative process is made. Mostly the Commission, the European Parliament, and also the Council are mostly black box institutions. So it's very hard to debug what's going on inside. For example,